Hey everybody, this is Crowmar with TGN, bringing you another World of Warcraft Cataclysm video. Today, we're looking at the top 10 random gameplay tips. Now, these are not tips meant to increase your DPS or increase your PvP wins or anything like that. These are general quality of life tips that will help you for everything. That's questing and leveling and dailies and just slumming around Orgrimmar, whatever you're doing. So let's get started with a real simple one. You may have noticed in Cataclysm they added beginner tooltips where, for example, for Stormstrike it says blah blah blah. It doesn't say how much the debuff increases. It simplifies everything to the point where you can't really tell what's going on. However, you can disable this by going to Interface, Help, and Beginner Tooltips. Now this seems like a very obvious thing. If you've already found it, then you probably think that. But I've seen a lot of people complaining about the Beginner Tooltips because they don't realize that they can shut them off. Number 9, mount macro. Now, this is another pretty simple one, but I want to show you a specific macro I got for my mount. You start out with show tooltip, whatever you want, and then use flyable, no mounted, purple Riding Nether Ray, use no flyable, no mounted, black War Raptor, and of course you replace these names with the name of your mount. Dismount, no flying, dismount, mod, alt, mounted. Now, you don't have to memorize that. I'll put the text in the description of the video, so you can simply copy paste it and then replace the names of the mounts with your mounts. So why is this good? Well, here's the macro here. I have it on shift space, but I'll click it here for this demonstration. I have one single macro for my mount. I get on the mount, fly around. Now let's go to an area that doesn't allow flying mounts, like Tolbarad. The very same macro gives me my Raptor. There you go. So, one macro to use both mounts, but there's an extra twist to this one. If you're flying and you hit your macro, it will not dismount you, so you won't accidentally hit it, fall to your death. However, if you hit Alt and hit it, then you will fall, so hopefully not to your death. So that's my favorite mount macro, and I ripped this macro off of Wowpedia. Didn't make it myself. Just want to let you know that's where the credit is deserved, is Wowpedia. But a lot of people don't have mount macros, and it just simplifies things. Number 8, auction house mods. The auction house interface kind of sucks. They did add the ability to post items in large single quantities at once. For example, if you look up practically any item, you'll now see that the auction house is flooded with single posts of these ore, even though you'd never buy one ore, hardly ever. The problem is, although they gave you a great easy way to post those auctions, they did not give you an easy way to buy those auctions. So this is why I have the mod Auction Master. I featured this mod in one of my previous videos, Time is Money episode 1. But if you're not interested in crafting or whatnot, then this is still useful for just buying anything. You type in the name of what you want. You have to enter a max price. You can enter whatever price you want, and that's per unit, and then scan, and it'll give you all the ore or whatever item you want listed by buyout, and it lists it by the cheapest per item. So it shows that this stack of 20 was actually cheaper than buying them single, and so that's actually very helpful. But you can do more than just one item. Watch this. Trade goods. Herbs. Max price, 1 gold per item. Take off bids because I'm not interested in bidding. And this gives you a list of all of the herbs in the auction house at a price of less than 1 gold or 1 gold or less, I should say. And that way, if you want to buy lots of cheap herbs, everything, not the blood thistles and the silver leaves and all that crap, but if you want to buy anything else for inscription, that's a great way to buy lots of cheap herbs without looking them up one by one and without panning through the incredibly slow default interface. Of course, that's not just useful for crafting, which is the example I keep using. It's useful for anything. Anytime you want to buy a lot of an item, even if you're just buying items to give to a crafter to make something for you, having Auction Master and getting used to using it is really, really good. I really recommend that for anyone. Number 7, window mode background sound. What am I talking about here? This is a technique that I use whenever I'm doing something really boring, such as smelting 1,000 Elementium bars, or prospecting, or milling, or the worst ones like fishing and archaeology. While you're doing those, nobody wants to sit there and stare at the screen and wait for those progress bars to finish. So what you can do is put it in window mode, right? That's easy. You just go into video, put it in window. As you see, I've already got it in window. I've got it in a resolution set for recording for YouTube. But there's an extra step you can take. You go to Sound, Sound in Background. Enable sounds to play even when Warcraft is in the background. Hit OK. And your WoW will continue making sounds at you while you're doing something else. That way you can be alerted when you finish what you're doing. But what it's most useful for is fishing. You start your fishing, you put it in window mode, put your window over to the side, then on the other side of your screen, put whatever you want to do. Put video, read something, and when the fish bob makes a sound, you can switch over real quick and pick it up. This is by far my favorite technique for alleviating boredom while fishing or doing anything else like that. Number 6, milling macro. I've just picked up some gold clover, and normally you'd click your milling button and then click them one by one, but that's boring. Instead, I'm just going to click one button. I have on 3, I have a milling macro mapped. Now this is not just for milling, this is also for prospecting and even disenchanting if you're disenchanting the same item. For example, if you make an item with blacksmithing and send it to your disenchanter. Although that's not profitable now, it was profitable at certain points in Wrath of the Lich King. Now let me show you what the macro looks like. It's really simple. Cast milling and then /use, and you make one entry for every single herb. It's taken me 3 different macros to cover every herb because of the 255 character limit. So I've got a total of 3 of them. And I've got some extra room on my 3rd one, so if I get some more herbs I need to add, like I don't think I have Dragon's Teeth on here, then because it's a new one, then I can just add that to my list. And if I need a 4th one, I'll just add a 4th one. You can add as many macros as you need to cover all the different kind of herbs. For prospecting, I have just Obsidian Aurum on here because I don't want to accidentally prospect something else. And but you can add anything else. You can add Serenite, Titanium, Elementium, Pyrite, whatever you want, whatever you plan on prospecting to your prospecting macro. And then you can also do that for disenchanting. I have a disenchanting one here too somewhere. There we go. Because I made, I tried, this is a money-making thing I tried with Inscription. I tried making these books and then disenchanting them, but I wound up losing money on this, so don't do that. But the point is, if you do have a situation where you make lots of an item and you plan on disenchanting it, you can just make a cast disenchant /use the name of the items and disenchant them all very fast. Number 5, Portal to Orgrimmar at the Stair of Destiny. What am I talking about? So let's say you're trapped in one of the other capital cities, like Undercity or I don't know, the Exodar or something, and you need to leave. Well, should you take the Zeppelin or the boat? No, because that's for chumps. What you do is you head over to the Mage Quarter, or the magic section of your town, whichever one it is, and you take this portal here to the Blasted Lands. Why on earth would you go to the Blasted Lands, you might ask? Well, once you get here, mount up, head through the Dark Portal. Remember that. Once here, you're at the Stair of Destiny. You remember this place. You came here once on the day Burning Crusade launched and you never came back again. Well, check it out. Portal to Orgrimmar. Yes, how cool is that? And on the other side, Portal to Stormwind. I can't highlight it, but it's a Portal to Stormwind. So, how cool is that? Now you can get here from anywhere. I think you can get there from Dalaran too. Basically anywhere that has a portal to Blasted Lands, which is almost every capital city as far as I know. I think it's actually every capital city. But I'm not 100% positive about that because I don't have the Alliance characters to go look. And there you go. You're back in Orgrimmar. Almost instantly. Number 4. Using console reloadui to get the mail. So, this one I freaked out when I found out about this because I love this. This is amazing. This is so simple and so amazing. Let's say you go to the auction, you go to the mail, and you get your mail. You get some crappy, whatever item, and then you go over here and you buy something, right? You go to the auction house and you buy, I don't know, Volatile Fire. And you're like, I just need 3, so I'm gonna buy Volatile Fires and head back over to the mailbox, and of course the mailbox hasn't loaded yet. So you can sit here and wait, or you can click a button, reload your UI. And voila, it's there. So what did I click? I actually ran a macro for it, although you can just type it if you prefer, but I just got sick of typing it. So made a macro /console reload UI. That's it. That's all it takes. You can type it or you can make a macro for it. I made a macro and I just click it or put it or keybind it even if you're that lazy. Every time you get the mail. This is crucial for people who do crafting and get sometimes 100, 150 items in the mail at once, like Inscription especially. and it will allow you to get large amounts of mail without going crazy. It also is just, helps you whenever you buy something after, seconds after you check the mail. So make that macro, put it on all your characters. Number 3, Keybind interact with NPC. What does that mean? This is something I discovered, or was told about rather, when Cataclysm came out, and it was a lifesaver. Let's say you go over here to an NPC. Let's use the auctioneer. And let's say you can't click the auctioneer because there's like 10 idiots with mammoths standing on top of it. What you do is you get in range, and notice my mouse is way over here, and you press a button, and it interacts with the NPC. Now, this is actually not a macro. This is actually a keybind. You go down about just under halfway. Where is it here? There we go. Interact with targets, what you're looking for. It's right around assist target, attack target, all these. Interact with target. I keep bound it to just a random button. It's just the close bracket. It can be anything on the keyboard. I just pick something that's far away from any buttons I'm ever going to hit on accident. And because it's not like I need to hit it quickly in PvP or anything, right? It's interact with target, and this works for anything that you right-click, anything that you right-click that you can target. So this goes for mostly NPCs, but there's other stuff too. You can use it to pick up the muddy crawfish that are in the water here. There's lots of other stuff you can do with it. That's for the cooking daily is what I'm referring to. There's lots of other stuff you could do with that button. Anytime that you need to right-click something that you have targeted but you can't reach it or you can't see it or anything like that, you just keybind interact with target. Number 2, no disconnect while flying. This is one of the most annoying new things about Cataclysm when flying from long distances, especially while doing archaeology or whatever. If your game is minimized because you're bored, and when you come back, you're disconnected. What some people do is they just try to click back in every 10 seconds. That's so annoying. Who wants to do that, right? Well, guess what? Window mode strikes again. This is something I discovered on accident because I was just filming in window mode and flying somewhere, and I was like, hey, I didn't get disconnected. Cool. If you put it in window mode, you will not get disconnected. It's simple as that. You can fly wherever you want with the game minimized in the background or whatever you want, and when you come back, you will not be disconnected as long as you're in window mode. It's that simple. It's awesome. And last, but certainly not least, number 1, target macros. Now, this is not just any simple target macro / target whatever. This is a little better. Take a look at this. I click a button. It not only targets the thing, but it puts a skull over it or whatever other icon you want. It seems like a simple idea, but it's so powerful and effective for finding things that are extremely difficult to find. Look at that. You just spin around till you see the skull. This quest I'm doing here is the cooking quest for the muddy crawfish. They're very hard to spot. I started using this macro specifically because of this cooking quest, but I used it for everything. I used it while leveling too. This is just a great macro that will help you find anything. It's very simple. Let's go to our macros and look at our target button. /target, whatever you want. Script /script SetRaidTarget icon target 8. And what that means is it'll put this icon over the target, and you can pick any icon you want. You can just mess around with that number to pick out a different item if you want a triangle or an X or whatever. And you can use that macro for anything, and it will highlight it and put a skull over it. Well, that's it for top 10 gameplay tips. Thank you for watching. This is Crowmar with TGN, as always, asking you to please rate, please comment, and please subscribe.